Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I know, I'm getting you with a random midday stream on a Tuesday, but there's good reason for it. So, for those who can't tell, there's an additional button below. I think YouTube made a mistake, and I'm gonna make them pay for it. Kinda, sorta, in a way. So, for those who may not be aware, Team Skeptic has the Ding Force. Sorry, but we're doing the Eagle's Nest. So, yes, for whatever reason, YouTube, in their infinite lack of wisdom, decided to open up membership availability to my channel. And I was really flippin' confused when I first saw that. I honestly thought there was a mistake. I still think there is one because when I look at the eligibility requirements, it says you have to have a channel with over 300,000 subscribers or be a gaming channel with over 1,000 subscribers. I am not a gaming channel, and I don't have 300,000 subscribers. But for some reason, they decided to give me channel membership. And we have our first member, Intellectual Iconoclasm. Aw, we have an eagle egg, guys. So for those who don't know, in the Discord server, I've already made publicly available a join link to a meets that I have on in the background right now that we will be going to shortly. Eventually, Sean. They said eventually. They're still giving Brainy Beaver a hard time about it. Which I have to say, when I saw it, I showed him, I was like, wait, are you still having problems? So yeah, I gave the Beaver a hard time about it. So yep, as everyone can see in the live chat now, Intellectual Iconoclasm has the badge showing he's a member. He's also used the first of the special emojis that are available. Let's go ahead and open up this a little bit. And so you guys can talk now, if you so choose.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of gathered that, Jared, but, I'm trying to fix lunch, so zapping food is kind of what's going on here.
Oh, lunch is overrated.
Yeah, I tell that to my stomach.
Why not become a breatharian and just take, advantage of this overabundance of air?
I'm sorry. I live in the real world, and I have this thing called reality. Breatharians don't register.
Oh, Fred, you definitely have a point there. YouTube is taking their cut of everything. But you know what?
Oh.
So what? It's one of those that still get the benefits. And with everything, there are perks to it. And I've always tried to run the channel as a bit more communal in a non-weird way, I guess you could say.
Well, see, here's my take on YouTube giving you the member button. Okay, is that your channel more or less deals with veteran issues, supposedly, or issues that veterans are having in the YouTube community. Let me say it that way. So therefore, YouTube felt safe in giving you the membership because maybe somebody actually there kind of feels like you may actually deserve it. Because let's be honest, you do with what you try to do with Veterans Talk, you do attempt to help.
Yeah, well, there's that, and Hufford did have a point earlier when he said that they have said that they were eventually going to be rolling it out to everyone that's monetized and and expand it that way. It was just surprising that I got it before a larger channel in our community. That's what really surprised me, because I'll be honest,
but
I wasn't.
bald beavers don't count. They're Canadian. They don't count.
But Canada is one of the listed approved countries for it. So
You know what? They're not a U.S. based. They're not a U.S. based channel, so they can wait for their button.
But so
sorry, Brainy, I just had to go there.
Rodent no last name. Which debate was I talking about earlier? Oh, oh, good old James Richard yesterday. Holy crap! So for those who didn't see, James Richard showed up on both Jose's, and then followed over to the after show on Alan Evans' channel. And I don't want to know what you're scratching at in that trough, pig.
Sorry.
But so yeah, James Richard showed up and had questions about how do you know what the sun is and the stars and all of that nonsense. After the course of a couple hours, I blame Brian Peck. I blame him for this, because at some point, James had mentioned the Bible, and that the Bible is 100% true and accurate. So we brought up a simple claim in the Bible that is patently false, which is the value of pi being 3. Not 3.14 and the whole rest of the decimals. Pi equals 3, according to the Bible. And in doing that, it antagonized the Plain Truth, otherwise known as Travis, to come on, at which point Brian manipulated the conversation so that it became idiot versus idiot about the veracity of the Bible. And for the entirety of that bit, I was muted, laughing my balls off.
Technically, though, for those familiar with the Discworld books and a character named Bloody Stupid Johnson, pi is exactly 3.
Yeah, not exactly, though.
It did rip a hole in space-time, but yeah.
True.
You win some, you lose some.
True. But yeah, so that... actually, I know Alan Evans was around, but for those who haven't seen... be prepared, because it was a lot of stupid. And that after show on Alan's channel went for 12 hours.
Alan, if you're listening, you're a braver man than I. Cheers.
Here's Alan. What exactly happened yesterday? Because I don't remember the ending.
We got James to admit that he was very inebriated.
It was 11. It was 11 hours and 55 minutes. I was really annoyed.
Now, is that because Zoom shut off right at its 12-hour mark? Alan, is that what happened? Because I remember being there.
Zoom shut off at its 24-hour mark. Because Terry started the Zoom. Hang on, am I? That's better. Sorry, I was hearing myself twice. That was getting annoying. Yeah, it was 11 hours, 55 minutes and 10 seconds. what happened was Terry started the stream, the Zoom meeting, to do his Sean G after show at like just after 6 my time in the morning.
Mm.
And then he just used the same Zoom meet to do his later show. And then we just all watched Jose in the meeting, and then we just carried on using the same meeting. So it ran out after 24 hours.
That would explain it then. But yeah, that
was nice.
The way that conversation went was fascinating. Was there a topic that we didn't touch over that course of time? I don't think there was. I mean, we mentioned multiple inaccuracies in the Bible. I will say this: it was rather interesting to have a live action troll versus troll, because holy crap, the difference in interpretation of the Bible between those two was astounding.
But Jared, how would any of them fare against, say, for example, a Hovind?
Oh, that was mentioned. It actually another stroke that actually Brian is working on in the background now is a episode of modern day debates between James and potentially Digital Hammurabi about the accuracy of the Bible and the actual history of the Bible. And then another one would be Travis, The Plain Truth, and Hovind on interpretation of the Bible. Of what is prophecy and what has happened, because according to Travis, the entirety of the Bible has already happened. That we are in a new story that has not been written down. Oh, Dora, that is the question. James ascribes to the King James Version.
The modern day or 1611?
One of the older versions. Not the modern day, but an older version. And the reason why I know that is because the texts he was reading was verbatim the same text in the Bible that I got from my Mormon grandparents.
The 1611.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that mean that the second coming of Jesus has already happened in that case too?
Yes, about the end of the 1st century, according to Travis.
All right, what was he smoking when he said that?
Well,
I don't know what he was smoking. I'm just kind of sad that he wasn't sharing.
he might have actually rolled it in Bible paper though, just to make it have, some legitimacy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bible paper, Bullinator has some experience in that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, one of my weird charity events, he ended up eating the longest verse in the Bible.
Okay, so in one of your charity events, because let's be honest, they're all weird.
Oh, yeah. I think that event I had Frank from the Geek Room eating cat food. No, that was Bran. Frank, I got to eat my very special breakfast meal for him.
Nice.
Also, Cheshire, if you're watching this, TikTok.
Do I even... You are
very good.
You know what?
Yeah.
To be fair, she did agree to that. That will be that could be entertaining in a very sadistic way.
If only they knew what we talked about.
Oh, I have a feeling they're gonna eventually learn, and all I'm
It
gonna
could
say,
be a day from now. It could be a year from now.
all I'm
You'll never know.
How come I'm getting the sensation that Red's rhetoric is going to go track Pig down and just stare at him in the face for 30 seconds to make his head explode?
That
are
would
you
be fun.
are
I
you
just
sure
give him
that
a
hasn't
hug and
already?
carry him away.
I was gonna say, are you sure that hasn't been attempted already?
Well, I mean, from everybody talking and everybody telling me Red's uglier than I am, then you know what? I'm not sure what has and hasn't been attempted at this point.
It hurt my feelings when he ran away from his hug. I had to hunt him down and lift him.
You literally jumped over a bed to do it. I have to say, you were more spry than I expected in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for those who hadn't already heard, Pig was adamant about having his hugs from pretty much everyone.
Yep. And I got my hug from everyone.
Whether they
Wait,
wanted
did I
it or
hug you?
not.
I think I hugged you. I'm pretty sure I hugged you.
I'm trying not to remember. I'm still slightly scarred from the entire event.
This is
Yeah.
why Piggy was roofied the entire way there and back.
Actually, I wasn't. I was the opposite. I stole his energy drinks.
No, you stole one.
Well, I had my own, too.
And-
That's like, did plural.
And you still fucking passed out.
Yeah. It takes a lot of energy moving all this mass around, man.
I think
At
that
one point, at Five Guys, I was literally thinking, if it wasn't for Jared threatening to dump like a milkshake on me or something, I was literally going to lay on one of the tables to sleep.
No, you were trying to use me as your pillow.
Yeah, then you threatened the milkshake, and then I was going to go on the table, and then that's when you guys said, okay, we're leaving.
Yeah, because we were done eating.
Jared's arms are really soft.
And with that, I don't have anything else. Hey, how about that? An 18-minute show. But no, so the main purpose of this was just bring attention that, yeah, a little while ago we went monetized, and now YouTube saw fit to open up channel memberships. So I figured, why the hell not? Now, for those who are potentially interested and curious, you can hit the join button and take a look at the perks for each level. Now, thing to remember, as you increase in tiers, you get every perk that is listed for that tier, plus the levels below. So with the 3 levels, if you do the top tier right now of an adult eagle, you get access to every single perk listed, which could end up being rather interesting and fun at times, because we're going to be taking some different directions on the channel in the coming future. We're
Yay!
going to get back to a bit of sensibility and civility when and where possible. And possibly some other topics.
Also, video games.
Just a word of warning, though. Don't use children's shampoo, because then no tears.
But I like tears.
Exactly.
They're salty.
Exactly, so don't use baby shampoo.
Okay.
But also, to go off of the thumbnail as well, for those who didn't see, I did put out a video before just saying, don't be afraid to come to me with any questions about anything being said or done anywhere. I got nothing to hide.
Hey!
By the way, Outer Worlds reviews are starting to trickle out. I'll have to look at that. Oh, no, Dora. On the Moto channel, I'll be honest, a combination of a shit ton of stuff going on at work and school. That's one of the things coming up is I'm actually one of the perks that isn't listed but is a perk for members is actually getting previews of the Moto footage that I still have a lot of footage to go through and finish up. I have 4 videos that I need to finish editing that I can then get back to posting. One of them is an update about the whole speeding ticket issue, which should have a resolution of that on Friday. So, yeah. That will...
Now we'll see how many points you end up with on your license.
Oh, Rhode Island doesn't do a point system.
Oh.
No, it's not a point.
Must be nice.
No. I would prefer a point system at this point, because a point system, you pretty much know what you're getting into and what your options are. Without a point system, if they decide to say, nah, we're going to suspend your license for 2 months on your first offense, they can. And they threatened that. And the commissioner of the department that wrote up the ticket has already said, yeah, no, we're gonna talk before the actual hearing, and we'll work something out.
Yeah, first speeding ticket I got was 36 miles an hour over the speed limit. And that's normally at the time that was at least a one month ban from driving. But they got me, go to the magistrate's court, and it was like, can you give us a good reason why we should not ban you? And I was like, well, I'm getting married in 2 weeks, and I'm in the RAF, and if I can't drive, I can't move into my new house, and I can't, with my new wife, I'll be stuck having to carry on living in barracks, and we won't be able to move. So they looked lenient on me and didn't ban me. They just gave me 3 points, which was the standard, and a £200 fine. You have to remember that this was like February 1987.
Ooh.
A £200 fine was huge.
Yeah, the initial bit that, had I not taken the offer to go to trial, I was looking at over $600 fine and a 2-month suspension. That's what the judge was threatening to give at the initial hearing. It's like, yeah, I would take the offer to go to trial. So, yeah, we're looking probably knocking it down from 56 miles per hour over down to 25 over. So no suspension, but still a decent fine. And in that case, we're looking at still about a $300 to $350 fine ballpark.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Jared, you're lucky, because if you'd have been doing 56 over in Texas, you'd have been in jail that day. Anything 20 over in Texas, you're going to jail.
See, I've heard of people getting off with that, in that there's still the discretion of the officer, because, and this is what is really saving my bacon on it, is the fact that as soon as I noticed, I pulled over safely, didn't try to run, didn't try to bullshit the officer, and I do have a couple other tickets, but they were literally like 5 over on bullshit types of things. Like one of them was 5 over that they got me in the middle of a downhill. with no one else around. And it's like, so I should have rode my fucking brakes the entire way down that hill with no one in front, no one behind? Well, I can't tell you that.
You'll have auto magics in the states, don't you? Nobody drives a stick, so you can't stick it in a low gear and use engine braking.
On the bike I can, but not in the car, no. And even then, a lot of the cars that have a manual transmission, they actually end up using a slipper clutch, like similar to what's on a bike. So engine braking, while still a thing, does not have as much braking as my bike does. So my bike, it actually doesn't have the slipper clutch, so I get full engine braking. So hard downshifts, got to be kind of careful on.
Yeah, but it does mean you don't need to never need to use your brakes on the bike if you're riding properly.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, for the most part, when I am on the brakes, it's only to turn on the light.
Yeah.
That way, dumbasses don't ride up into the back of me.
Yeah, I got some lessons off a very, very senior police riding instructor, and it was like, I don't want to see you using the brakes at all until you're doing right. The only time you touch the brake is to stop the bike in the last sort of 3 feet. I'll know if you use the brakes because I'll see your brake lights come on.
Yeah.
But then he was directly behind me, so and I trusted him not to run up my arse. I knew one guy turned up for his Institute of Advanced Motorcyclists, Institute of Advanced Drivers motorbike test, and it's done by the police examiner in Norfolk, and his bike had broken down, so he borrowed a company bike, and this guy did his advanced test with the examiner on a marked police motorcycle. He said it was interesting because, like, he's whizzing around on his bike, a police bike, less than 3 foot from him most of the time.
No. Oh, to be clear,
The reactions of other drivers were apparently interesting.
Well, I would expect so too. But Dora, so what I meant, so my running lights are on 24/7 on the bike. There's no way to turn them off in that aspect. What I meant was, like, when I start doing downshifting and engine braking to slow down for something, I just lightly put pressure on the lever just to activate the micro switch to turn on the brake light. It's actually, so one of the things that I ended up figuring out, and I'm actually glad I looked into this and remembered to do it when I first got the bike, is a way to work on your brake lever activation and everything is to actually turn the bike on, but don't kick it over. Put it in neutral, and then walk the bike and figure out exactly how much pressure will activate the light, but you still be able to push the bike easily enough.
I have a small question there regarding legality. Say, for example, if I start in, say, New York, and I want to go to, I don't know, Iowa.
Yep.
And I want to do it through the, major city centers along the way. So, for example, I go through Pittsburgh, I go through Columbus, I go through Indianapolis, all the way to getting to, say, for example, Des Moines, how the fuck ever you pronounce that. How does that work? Say, for example, if I speed along the way, but not in my own state.
The state where the offense is committed will still have citation authority because you are in their state, and it depends upon. Pretty much all states now have a mutual enforcement agreement, meaning that if you get a ticket in one state and you don't pay it, you may not be able to renew your driver's license in another state.
Will that affect other things too? Say, for example, if I'm in a state where, say, for example, I have a concealed carry license or some shit like that, and I do this, and say, for example, in Pittsburgh, I accidentally speed, or well, I don't see the speed limit, something happens, and I speed there, I get convicted there. Would that also, in that case, affect me in, all the way there, or through all states?
No. The way that it generally takes is it takes about 15 days from the citation being issued to it enter into the computer. And generally by then you will have had at least one court date where you either pay the fine, hire an attorney, or go there yourself. That's how that would work.
Would I be able to do that in that case, New York, and not in the state where, well, the offense happened?
No, you'd have to appear in where the offense occurred.
I would fucking suck in that case. So, for example, I have to go to Columbus to actually go get things done. Especially if they then recognise my rights.
Well, that's the reason why the officers, 9 times out of 10, if they see you're an out-of-state resident, they hand you a citation list, meaning that they give you a pay sheet telling you, if you're 5 to 10 over, what you're going to have to pay for that. If you're 10 to 15 over, what you have to pay for that, so on and so forth. In Texas, 20 miles an hour over, and you will 9 times out of 10 go to jail.
Yeah, that sounds rather bad.
Well, Texas, 20 miles an hour over, Texas considers 20 miles over the speed limit, and anything over that to be reckless endangerment, and therefore a criminal offense. It's no longer a misdemeanor offense. It's actually a felony offense.
And also you have to look at your average speed limit on the Texas highways as well.
75 miles an hour, except on I-10 between Houston and El Paso, that's 85.
Yeah, so if you're going 20 over there, you're going 9,500.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
About the standard cruising speed for British motorway, then.
Well, and that's the thing, is the average cruising speed on the majority of roads around here are 10 to 15 over if you're lucky. And the only cars that actually stay under that are the vehicles that literally cannot go that much over.
Hey, Jared, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Even my wife knew.
Well, people pay attention.
Sometimes.
Wait, Jared has birthdays? I thought he was an immortal eagle.
Well, even the immortals have birthdays.
Okay, hang on.
So then what was God's birthday then, huh?
Big Bang Day.
The beginning of the Bible.
So, for those of you in the panel, you'll have to take a look at the stream for this one because you shared it right away there. This is the picture that Gio Streber just sent me. For those who can't read it, the limit is 60 kilometers per hour. They got him going 79. Yeah, it's... Actually, let's see.
Enjoy paying that one, Gio.
Well, keep in mind, that's kilometers per hour, so it's not even miles per hour. But if we want to do the conversion...
It was about 45. Well, no, let's see.
Is a 60...
80, 60. He was 60 miles an hour. He was at 60 miles an hour when they pulled him over.
Hang on. So it was a 35 mile an hour zone. So, well, essentially, so same speed zone I was in, but he was only going 50. So, yeah, I kind of have you beat on that. So, actually, you know what? Curiosity. Let's see what my KPH was. Nope, not 120. Not 130. Not 140. Anyone want to take a guess?
About 108.
150.
145.
Ooh.
Yeah, and here's the thing is the bike was wonderfully stable at that speed.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I mean, of course it was. That was the speed it was designed to go at. It's at that speed. It's just kind of got itself on its stride, hasn't it?
Well, so here's the thing. I've actually figured out a couple of the characteristics of this bike. When I start to feel a buzz in the handlebars, I'm going 90. So that...
But yeah, but Jerry's a real question, because I've had this come up with somebody asking me about riding. At 90 and above, is counter steering really an issue for you, or no?
Oh, well, here's the thing. To me, it's easy. But you got to remember, my initial foray and learning to ride was on a track bike. Granted, it was a low CC track bike just over 20 years ago. So I was learning how to actually fully lean the bike at that time. And you're doing that at speed. So my bike is a little heavy on the input at speed for that. But at the same time, most of the turns that I'm taking when I'm at cruising speed, I don't need to put that much input into it. I'm very light on the bar, and then putting my upper body, especially, in the position it needs to be. That's where a lot of people forget and go wrong, is by doing one and not the other. They're doing the bar input and either staying center line, or they're moving their body without doing enough input onto the controls. You got to find that balance for your bike and your riding style and do both.
Yeah.
Personally, I never really thought about it. It was just, you just did it naturally.
Well, yeah, it did come natural to me to do it, and that's where a lot of people actually do need to actually have to put a lot of conscious effort into their technique, and especially body position. Taking a look at a lot of track day footage that other content creators have put on YouTube, the biggest thing that I see that a lot of them are either working on or need to work on is body position. In some of the accident compilations, there was one in particular where the guy was taking a decently tight left-handed turn, and you could see him putting the inputs onto the bars, but his upper body was staying center line. And I was like, no wonder why you ran off the outside of the turn. You were doing all bar and throttle inputs without adjusting your body correctly.
Yeah, it doesn't really work, does it?
Are you trying to say that physics are actually a thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
think we're trying to say physics is actually a thing. Although the funny thing is, I kind of learned that without even any conscious input on counter steering. It's just you just really know that you're gonna that's just how you pull the bars. And it was only when I read something in a magazine about it, and I sort of like, okay, well I'm driving along at low speed. Let's give the bars a big nudge and actually. Oh yeah, that is what's happening. That is how I'm doing it. I hadn't even thought about it before. You just did it.
yeah. I mean, some people can figure it out. Others, it's that effort. And that's the thing. Once you figure it out, from what I've noticed in talking to people, once it clicks, it's easy to remember and do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I was lucky.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Oftentimes, with stuff like this, it does come down to so a little more context on that picture from Gio. Construction zone.
Oh.
Outside of Berlin. So Eric Chieftain, I got a ticket in Florida once, 80 and a 45, but I managed to get the officer to write 78 on the ticket. So it said 78, actually 80. I was a tourist and flying home in 2 days. So you got lucky. And I think part of that was the officer realizing, well, cut you a break enough, but at the same time, you're still going to be paying. And I swear, a number of cops, if there is a group of cars going at the same speed, their initial target is going to be the one with the out-of-state plates.
Oh, yeah.
I know, because that happened to me. It was either southern Ohio or northern Kentucky a few years back. There were 4 other cars around me, just cruising down the highway. I wasn't even in the left-hand lane. I was in the center lane, getting past, and the cop comes up and pulls me over. And from seeing the range that they were away from and their method of trying to speed acquisition, if I really tried to fight it then, it probably would have been worse for me. But here is the thing. I'm out of state. I'm literally only driving through for a trip. Am I going to fly back out to Ohio to contest that the radar was actually getting the entirety of the group of cars that I was in the middle of, and not just me, and that I was actually being passed at the time? Now, mind you, that would have been a trip and a couple days off from work just to fight a speeding ticket in another state. Yeah, the intellectual iconoclasm, same thing. They got him for going in a 75 mile an hour zone. They got him for going over, just clearly packed up and moving. I got the full deal out of state. I just paid the fine, sadly. Yeah, sometimes you have to look at the costs. Like, is it worth just paying the ticket? Which I think that one was like 150 something, 160 something. Whereas I would have spent I would have spent more than that just in travel to go fight the ticket.
You could have just screamed, "I do not consent." I could have worked.
No, because this is when sovereign citizens were a known thing, so
Fuck.
no.
They're still a known thing. They're just called flat earthers now.
Oh, no. sovereign citizens are still their own thing and their own entity. But with the, like I said, this was only a few years ago, so a lot of police know about that whole "I wasn't driving, I was traveling" argument.
I told that to a cop once when he pulled me over, and he just kind of looked at me and was like, "Oh God, I'm like, no, I'm joking. Here's the ID. Here's the insurance." And he goes, "Oh my God, you scared me." I was like, "I figured I might." Oh, that is the one thing an average cop, just a street cop in a city, hates dealing with is a sovereign citizen. They don't deal with them well.
Can't really blame them. I mean,
Yeah.
someone with that mentality and essentially trying to argue that, oh yeah, here's what I've found on the internet, and that means you have no jurisdiction over me. It's hard.
I'm gonna have some fun in the live chat right now. Because there's only two of us that can do these. There's only two of us that can do these.
Oh, you suck, Jared.
Although I actually am, a couple of those I'm actually going to have to update and actually get the transparent backgrounds back on them. Then it'll be even more fun. It'll be easier for the audience if they're using dark mode like I do. I use Black Law's dictionary, so I am correct. Oh, intellectual iconoclasm. Hang on. Traveling refers to freedom to relocate unless constrained by law or levy, not to operate a motor vehicle. Oh, I know. That's why that argument is so hilarious to me. And Vesta has another salient point as well. It brings me joy when I see a sovtard being tasered.
Oh yeah, I love to watch them do the electric shake. That's just. Well, I saw one the other day on Facebook, and it was just a gif of this fat naked woman running down the street and suddenly face planting because the officer deployed the taser.
Oh.
I can't even fathom the terror that you had to feel seeing a big land whale running down the sidewalk.
Have you met Pig?
No, I have not. But I've heard that I would love to see him try to run from a cop when they deploy the tasers. I want to see him do a face plant too.
I guess it kind of depends on the distance there. I mean, if it's more than, 10 meters away, he might be out of breath before he gets there.
Oh. So we just got quite the suggestion from Intellectual Iconoclasm. Hey, hit up Donut Operator and see if he's up to have a game of Sovereign Citizen bingo with you.
You know, he is a former Marine.
Yeah. Although I do have to say, I kind of go back and forth between preferring his work and Angry Cops. I guess it just more so depends on my mood.
Well, Donut's always been good, and I like the episode of him and Mr. Best and Demo doing their shooting thing down in Texas. That was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gio, I would like your name and badge number, please. Yeah, the easiest way to get that from a cop is to just accept the citation. Because you can always contest it, but they don't realize that.
Oh no, they realize it. What they don't want to do is take the citation so that they can tell the judge, well, I didn't get a citation for this. They think that somehow miraculously just dancing around the topic of, hey, Eddie, you were speeding.
Oh, the state of Massachusetts was trying to suspend my license at one point, and it was like, I'm a Rhode Island resident. Well, yeah, but you got this speeding ticket and haven't paid it. It's like, when? I wasn't given a citation. There was a time where I was stopped by a cop, and he came back with my license and literally threw it at me and walked away. Well, you didn't get anything in the mail? It's like, no. And so I told him, I was like, you know what? I have today off. Go look it up. They actually were able to go through their records and pull up the citation itself, did not see my signature on it, and had to throw it out.
Jared, how do you think special policemen would deal with sovereign citizens?
Ooh.
And by special, I mean,
Oh, I know.
he is a cop.
I know which show you're talking about, and oh, I wish they were still able to make that show for YouTube.
So do I. It would be, interesting.
That would be entertaining, just to see if he went along with the arguments and it's like, yeah, no, I get you. Here you go.
I think it might end up essentially with him saying, you're more of what I am than what I am. And then just pissing off.
Oh, Gio asked, is it possible that that U.S. cops can be impolite assholes sometimes? Oh, for some of them, it's not just possible.
Mandatory.
It's inherent.
Mandatory. No, it's mandatory.
Also, Gail, with the last thing they said, you might want to look up Sweden police shooting. And there is a case with a guy named Eric, who he is no more. He has ceased to be due to cops. 3 of them, all firing at him from the back.
Huh?
It was a guy with Down syndrome
Okay.
who was playing around with a toy gun.
Okay.
3 police officers came there, and essentially, without doing anything, and having warned him or anything, told him to get on the ground, they started firing. I don't know how many shots it ended up with, but you could see from the pictures there's essentially bullet holes everywhere around too.
Oh.
And they try the defense now that, oh yeah, maybe he was turning around because not all the bullet holes were in his back.
Oh my. Yeah, see, this is where I agree, in certain situations, if at all possible, you need to have 2 officers, and the primary officer who is in control that has their weapon drawn is actually using a non-lethal means initially, with one or multiple of the backup officers having the lethal means available.
In this case, they figured, why not? Just, shoot first. Don't really bother asking questions later.
I don't know, but there's one video out there that we had to go through when I was getting armed in Texas for private security. We had to watch the video. It's called Tase and Spray. And the reason is that the OC spray that we use, that it's the same stuff the police officers use, is 95% alcohol. So, you know what happens when you expose alcohol to an electric spark or an electric arc?
Oh.
Ooh,
They're actually videos, dash cam videos of officers spraying down a suspect trying to get them to comply, and then they deploy the taser and the person went up in flames.
Are they then telling them to get on the ground again because they don't want them to be, threatening and moving around?
So pretty much at that point, they're already on the ground. They're doing the fire roll at that point.
I wouldn't be surprised if they then get shot because, oh yeah, he wasn't complying.
Yeah, but once you got him on fire, what's the point?
This reminds me of the video with the police officer having a gun pointed at a guy's head when he's on the ground. And I don't know if she just jitters or, well, accidentally pulls the trigger in some other way. And fucking shoots him on the ground.
Yeah, I heard of that happening.
Just like
Well,
say,
hey, Jared, who's the top 5 on your list for dumb fuck of the year right now?
Honestly, I haven't given it much thought beyond the top 2.
Who's the top 2?
JM and Riley. In that order.
Yeah. Well, I actually have, as of yesterday, I have Riley ahead of JM because of Riley's video yesterday.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Riley has spewed enough stupid to potentially win it this year. I just think it would be epic after all of that work he's done releasing said stupid, for him to still only come in second would be just amazingly hilarious.
I thought Riley was only allowed to come second because because he's so stupid, he's not even allowed to win an award for dumb fucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Somewhere Reds is going to have to relax some of those rules. You know, being a previous winner of Dumb Fuck of the Year is automatically excludes you from winning a subsequent year. Come on now.
Well, you gotta. Well, here's the thing. That was done so you don't have a perpetual winner like Jism.
No. Yeah.
And that.
Although Jism was smart enough to no longer talk about Cold Moonlight.
Oh.
Riley didn't get the memo. Riley did not get the memo on that, or if he got it, it just went one ear out, went in one ear and out the other.
Well, okay, so listen to this one though from Gio. I could make a usually Riley comes first by a long shot joke now.
Yeah. Ah, damn it! I forgot to ask him if his partner search was going well when I was posting comments on his video yesterday.
I was going to say, 1 minute debunk. Thing is, you can't win Dumb Fuck of the Year award unless you are being deliberately a dumb fuck. If you are not a dumb fuck by choice, you're not eligible. So that kind of covers your penguins and flying analogy.
After the documentary, what stupid did Jism and Bob do? Tried to deny what they said during it, and have continued to try to push Flurf. And although what's interestingly enough is Jeranism might just have blown the lid off of FE Core in a way, because they keep trying to say, oh, we're not a flat earth organization. and yet Jeranism has him listed as a contributor, as a flat Earth contributor on one of his websites. And he was recently removed from the board of directors of FE Corps.
Oh, when did that happen?
In the last few weeks.
Oh, wow.
And the timing happened at just damn near at the same time, same moment, because Jeranism was removed from the photo portion of the board member list. Then that posting through one of his websites happened, and then he was completely removed from mentions of the board members page completely.
Wow.
Gio asks, I'm still trying to figure out why they're scheduling to repeat the gyro experiment inside a box made of bismuth. Again, they are trying to isolate the heavenly energies to show that it is not the rotation of the Earth that's actually causing the 15 degree per hour aggregate deviation. So a Faraday cage is just not good enough. They're going all out bismuth shielding, which, yeah, you're still going to detect that drift there, buddy.
Yep. You know, that may be the case. Is the reason why he never released anything other than what was on the movie. Is that he's already done all the experiments and can't avoid that 15 degree per hour drift.
This is what I get.
Can't they, in this case, also put the whole thing in a pressurized container and just keep the pressure same, and then put that on a scale, just to make sure that, everything's just, perfect and nothing can affect it?
MC Toon just posted something that is very relevant too. They're only going to share the results if the results agree with their required conclusion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're not trustworthy about how they release findings from the work that they do. And that's putting it mildly.
I'm not going to say they're untrustworthy, but I'd rather leave the keys to McDonald's to the Hamburglar and trust them.
Nice.
Well, here's the thing is that, and this is the reason why I think that Bob Knodel is a Poe. Okay? He is an amateur. This call sign just got issued. This is a new license. And they flood your mailbox for 2 weeks after you pass your amateur radio exam. For the next 2 weeks, you get flyers and information and, how to build certain things to actually communicate with the amateur satellite.
Hello, everyone.
Really not that hard.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Not so bad. Yep, you're quite correct on the radio, Ham, because I am one as well. You cannot deny the Earth is a flat plane if you're a radio operator.
Exactly. Well, I'm an amateur radio operator as well, so.
Oh, cool.
I've been an amateur operator here in the States for almost 30 years now.
Yeah, I got mine 82, I think, or 84. I can't remember that. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm a K5, so that'll tell you.
I'm a G0. I could have had one of the last G4s, but I just wait for the G0.
Well, we got we have the amateur radio call sign vanity system here, so we can actually request certain call signs, and if they're not taken at that point in time that we request it, we'll probably be issued that. Yeah. So, of course, I went after by initials and got those for my last three. So I'm a 1x3 call here in the States. on a general class ticket.
Yeah, I got a Class A. Took me Morse, I think a couple of years later, to get me Class
It's
A.
funny because Bob Nodal is an amateur extra, which is the highest license class here in the U.S.
Yeah,
That man is a PO. That man is a PO with a capital P.
yeah. Because Class A here, what I got is the same as what you extra over there. So
Yeah.
he's a pilot and he's an amateur radio extra, and he still denies the world is a globe. What an idiot!
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jared.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
To me, it's always fascinating. So that was another thing that was said last. I think it was last night on Alan's after show stream. James Richard made mention of knowing multiple pilots who claimed to be flat earthers, and the immediate response was, "Oh, really? Who?" And he couldn't.
There's not one commercial pilot out there that believes the Earth is flat.
Oh, not just commercial pilots, private pilots license holders have not come forward. Legitimate holders to it. Here's the thing with Bob is he used to have a valid pilot's license. Not sure if it lapsed just due to not maintaining qualification, but he didn't start talking about flat Earth until after that had been listed as expired. But let's think about this for Bob Noodle Canoodle there. He pilot, electrical engineer, and ham operator, and yet claims the Earth is flat. One of these things don't look like the other.
One of these things just ain't quite the same.
I like it when he did come in and say that, and I thought, oh, don't tell me it's Bob Noodle, and Big Blue went, I hope it is Big Blue. I hope it is Bob Noodle.
and then he immediately shut up about it.
Strange that one, wasn't it?
MC Tuna has it right.
Yeah.
It is Super Noodle Doodle.
Oh no! And of course, the number 3.
Jared, where's Jay Brown right now? Because we need to have him with that nuke program up and just bombing the crap out of Noodle Canoodle's house.
He's either at work or in class right now.
Oh, that's such a shame.
So
I would love to see Bob Noodle's house just go up on a Tsar Bomba.
So here's a question for the panel. Ham operator, is that code for masturbation?
No.
No, Pig left the panel.
Yeah.
Am I correct in
Pig
saying
is a
that?
smart Pig is a smart kid. Okay, I give him that. Okay, he's extremely smart. I have no doubt that if you handed him the study books, he could probably walk in and pass his amateur radio exam. He would probably go through technician to general in one sitting, which you can do that. You can take both exams in one sitting. He might have trouble with the third one, but he's smart enough he could go back later and take the third exam to get his amateur extra and be an amateur extra.
What would it do with it, though?
Oh, I'm aware of what it meant, Gio, which is why I enjoy it. Oh, God, what do we have here? Where?
What do you think we have here?
Well, wait. It's where are you attacking and why?
Well, it started off in Sheffield because that's where my ISP is based, so that's where it thinks I am. Doesn't think I'm down in Norfolk because it thinks I'm in Sheffield where my ISP is based. But I just thought, you said you have to kind of push me in the right direction for Super Noodle Doodle.
He's Colorado
West Coast,
Springs,
isn't
Colorado, Central.
it?
So
I mean,
is
it's
he
not
closer
exactly a
to-
precision weapon.
True, but when you get out to Colorado, they're south of Wyoming. So no.
Where's
No,
So
down a bit. Down.
I got it.
Yep.
if I remember right, he's either in
That's
the
near
Denver.
Colorado Springs, isn't it? Colorado Springs is near Denver.
Noodle,
Yeah, just
Yeah, he's
there,
Noodle
look.
Canoodle.
somewhere
Noodle
between
Canoodle
the
is
two.
in Denver. Noodle
Okay.
Canoodle is in Denver. That's according to the latest FCC update to his life.
Ah,
See, I couldn't remember for sure. I knew it was one of the two, but yeah, let's see what the Zarbomba can do with the
Love on
With
100
Denver.
million?
yeah, the designed, of course.
Right. Oh, that went back to where I was. Sorry. That was silly. It's been
So-
a long time since I played this game.
I won't.
So-
I won't miss Manchester.
So
Yeah. Or Sheffield.
Alan, if you go to the sidebar there and click under number 1, yep, if you type in Denver
Oh, yeah.
there, yeah, that'll help. And now let's click detonate again. Let's see how. Oh, other effects. Casualties needs to be checked on bit number 3.
Where's the casualties thing?
Up a bit. Alan.
So above the detonate button, right there. Yep.
Yeah. Radioactive fallout. Casualties. Detonate. Boom. There we go.
You got something against Denver, Alan?
Well, somebody said Bob's Super Noodle lived there, so
You can't have anything against Denver if Denver doesn't exist.
Oh, that's true.
Denver now doesn't exist.
Well, see,
Should we make it a surf? Should we make it a ground burst?
Yeah. Let's see how much the ground.
That'll
would
make
do.
it a lot more fun, won't it? Oh, hang on. Which way the wind going to go? Is the wind going to go? The winds are going to be westerly winds for America
at
as
this time
well.
of year, wind's going to be out of the north. So the winds are going to be out of the north, 15 to 20 knots in the upper atmosphere.
So down that way. Then.
Yeah, down that way. So so this is where it gets interesting because it does. So the estimate does not include fallout,
Poor old Shields.
but that would get really close to a few people we know. Actually, if it's slightly more east by southeast, that would
We
end.
get furball.
Oh no, that would end up getting
Too far?
teams
Too
down
far.
a little too. Yep. Because team is in Dallas, the Dallas area.
Oh. Well, just remember, I'm going back to Dallas eventually sometime in the next... I'm supposed to have already been
There we
there.
go.
But
Well, you can't now. It's
Yeah.
not there.
Well, no, it is
no,
there.
my
It's just covered
location-
in lots of. It's just covered in.
tornado debris.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That.
No, actually,
that's-
Dallas got hit by a tornado Saturday night.
Ooh.
Yeah. EF3 tornado. I think it was about 150, 160 mile an hour wind. One of my job sites was actually hit and collapsed. So I'm going to be going back to that job site to protect the
Rubble.
rebuilding process.
Ooh. So that would burn people in Dallas, would it?
No,
It'll
that
radiate. It'll make them glow in the dark.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be sickness.
Fallout.
Detonating bombs. We're detonating nuclear bombs on that nuclear bomb program.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to
So,
explain to my wife what we were doing. I would make the people in Dallas glow in the dark if we detonated a bomb in Denver.
San Diego.
Well, haven't you seen that educational show? It's called, I can't remember. It's something. They use kids. And you can basically be safe from anything if you just hide under your desk.
would
Jared,
that be
speaking
about
of-
right for the San Diego Naval Base there, Jared?
The naval
No,
base doesn't
no,
exist anymore.
No, in San Diego, yeah, there's 3 of them.
Well, yeah, but the air base, San Diego Naval Air Station.
That's still there.
Is it?
Coronado is
I
still
thought that
there.
was closed.
No. The AIMD restructured as a fleet readiness center. It's no longer called AIMD. It's no longer an aircraft intermediate maintenance detachment. It's a fleet.
Yeah.
It is now Fleet Readiness Center Southwest. And
Nice.
if you actually zoom into San Diego a bit more, there, Alan, I can actually point you to where the 3 segments are. Yep. See NZY, that airport. There's your naval air
Station.
Yep, that's Coronado. That's North Island. Across that inlet to the west is Point Loma. That's the subbase, and under the green.
So if I move that there, that's probably going to be.
You're going to get all
just
3.
right.
Yeah, you're going to get all 3 if you go there, because you get Coronado, you get Point Loma, and you hit 32nd Street.
Yeah.
Whoa.
1.48 million casualties. But sorry, fatalities with 1.42 million injured.
That seems a bit low, though.
Well, a good portion of that burst is hitting water.
Yeah, remember half of that is boiling the sea.
This thing doesn't have a setting for tsunamis, does it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Say, for example, if it detonated, I don't know, 20 meters below the surface out in the ocean?
Probably. I don't think this one does, but it would be interesting to get that sort of update on it.
Hey, Jared, the one thing I was going to say about that is we do need to do a health and welfare on Team Skeptic, because the tornado went pretty close to where he was at.
I know. I've sent a message to him. I haven't heard anything back yet, so we're not sure. Burst no. So Iconoclasm. The only adjustment is the determination between an air burst and a surface detonation.
So that's what you get if you do it with a Chinese nuke on the Dongfeng 5. Let's make that ground again.
I can just imagine someone in essentially a stereotypical Chinese voice now saying, "It's not the size of it, it's how you use it."
So apparently MC Toon recently spoke with Team, and things are fine on his end, so...
Okay, good news.
Oh, Alan, Randy's taking a break for a little while.
Randy? What, Flat Earth?
Yeah.
Wait, is he not... wait, taking a break from Flat Earth?
Well, from uploading videos.
Wow.
He's put a video up last night.
You mean Randy Globe Earth, sorry.
Granny Bonwa, what if it exploded in JM Truth's house? There's not much in Montana. The numbers would be kind of low.
Yeah.
We tried this before, though. Wasn't it one place where it was, 12 people affected by the largest bomb?
That would be either
Greenland, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Greenland or upper portion of Canada or upper portion of Norway. It's definitely in a northern extreme somewhere.
I think my favourite is still when we place it in that place in Italy.
I want it to go. How do I make it go there? Should I have dragged it with me?
No. So change location up in number 1 segment of the sidebar.
Don't you like your house anymore, Alan? or you just make the Broads a little bit bigger?
I think he's just planning on a rebuilding period.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried, on that program.
How do I undetonate it?
We ended up with like 400,000 dead.
Clear all effects on number 4. Next to the detonate bar, yeah.
Because that's not actually in the right place. Because that needs to be down here. That needs to be there.
I mean, technically, anyone in that area would still be, well, a shadow of the former self.
Yep.
And that's with one of the small ones.
And you know why I put that there? Yeah, well, that's kind of more realistic to
what would actually happen.
Know. Yeah.
Well, I'm all right, Alan. I'm out of the zone.
That's an airburst. Yeah, but that's an airburst.
Yeah.
Now let's see.
Well, I'd certainly not go off, but yeah.
That'd probably be the prevailing winds for, because obviously they would want a surface burst it there. Because
so Granny just asked again. It looks like, is that Jen Morgan? I think that is.
No.
No. Asked if we set off a bomb in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Target MC Tune.
Sorry, Tim.
What if she would be safe or not further south? There was I forget how long ago it was now, but there was a stream on MC Tunes where myself and Jay Brown were on there, and Jay was targeting that portion of Minnesota.
MC Toon lives in a bunker.
The only benefit to Minneapolis, St. Paul, is you get rid of Illian, what's her name? The female junior senator.
That doesn't really narrow it down. Talking about Ilhan Omar?
Yes.
Oh, the one who may or may not be shacking up with one of her staffers?
Yeah, the one that married her brother, yeah.
See, that... I've seen conflicting reports on that one, but there's definitive evidence of her shacking up with her still technically married staffer.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that bad. They aren't married anymore.
So, between you two opinions, because you've both been in the forces, Alan and Jared, how many nukes would they fire at the UK and Europe? If that happened.
Sorry, I'll let Jared go first.
My thought, you're looking, if is the target a specific country or the entirety of Europe as a whole? Because if you're doing Europe as a whole, you're looking at least a dozen ICBMs with multiple warheads on each. So you're looking anywhere from a dozen to about 25 individual targets minimum.
But
I've actually reduced that a bit there.
the majority of the Soviet Union's war arsenal was intermediate range missiles, not ICBM.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean that's an SS4, and that's not unreasonable for that target, because that is a genuine. That was a genuine target that would have been targeted with a ground burst, because it was Southern Sector Operations Centre for the Royal Air Force. It would have had a nuke of its own. And that's 2.3. That's 2,300 kilotons, which is probably about right for that sort of target.
They'd have one up at North Norfolk as well, wouldn't they?
yeah,
That airport up there.
pretty much.
I'm talking I'm talking 60s and 70s. Through to the end of the Cold War.
Mills and Hall, Bentwars, Lake and Heath.
It would have been there. Yeah. They would have. I mean,
Suffolk, Norfolk would be wiped out basically.
They would have. I'd see. I don't know whether they would. They probably wouldn't have nuked Mildenhall.
Why not?
Because that's transport aircraft.
Well, they would have. Yeah, they would have nuked. Back up until the Cold War ended, they would have nuked my area pretty hard here in Missouri, because that's where all the ICBMs was on the Kansas-Missouri border and into Missouri somewhat. The closest missile silo is El Dorado Springs, Missouri, and it's like 40 miles away from here.
Well, yeah,
they would have targeted it multiple times. It means that they would have had repeated strikes aimed at it.
Alan, what's the smallest nuke you can have?
I think it's about 2 kilotons.
If you do that and place it by the Parliament in London, how much would it affect?
So
let me just hit Mildenhall with an SS4.
That's not nice. My dad used to work there.
Sorry,
I think that there's actually
that hits Lakenheath, and Lakenheath is a genuine target, because that's fighter wings and stuff. Mildenhall was always transport, but just look where, that's Lakenheath. That's Mildenhall's there. Yeah. Mildenhall's close enough that it's going to be
effective.
You ain't going to be using Mildenhall for very much either. So, you don't have to.
They'd only have one at Woodbridge and Bentwaters because they're fairly close together as well.
Yeah, so, and I've just realised I'm talking too loud because they've gone to bed already, because Nathan's got to get up for work.
So, so Sean Smith has asked, how about nuking NASA? The problem with nuking NASA is they have that alien technology protecting them.
No, the only problem with nuking NASA is fake. They're CGI.
No. It's the other way around. They have such alien technology, they're able to make people think that they're fake.
That's some righteous mind control there.
See, that's how they do it. See, whatever the prevailing thought is, you need to go the complete opposite way. Then you know the truth.
Oh, there we go.
That's a small
nuclear terrorist weapon.
Oh,
Because say,
you
for
got-
example, now that you have a
You-
terrorist or
Adam,
someone that's
Alan.
come across a really small nuke.
Change that.
so intellectual iconoclasm has pointed out what I was actually trying to get to before. What about ICBM command nodes in the Dakotas? Yeah, your entire command and control network is your first order target.
You've gone to the States.
Just put in London.
Yeah.
And then surface burst, if that isn't already checked.
Now, don't they have a suitcase or a satchel nuclear bomb in that?
What I've clicked is actually the where's
Oh, they're having fun in the chat. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
okay, so this is a crude nuclear terrorist weapon, 100. So it's only 100 tons. It's not even a kiloton.
And that would be something essentially a briefcase bomb.
Yeah.
This is a briefcase. This is something a terrorist would knock up and put in the basement of the Houses of Parliament.
So
and detonate on the 5th of November.
Yeah, I was going to say a modern gunpowder plot. All right, let's see what happens. We're only a week away.
Remember.
Not a lot then.
Yeah.
It's only 100
That's
tons of
actually not
TNT.
that bad.
No, but you time it right, and you get the proper people in there. Yeah.
Yeah. They're gone, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because if you have terrorists, they'll essentially want to make sure that this comes to as much effect as possible.
So state opening of Parliament. That is actually directly inside the Houses of Parliament. I mean, if you wanted to
That would essentially make the bridge unsafe too.
that would probably be where you would be able to get it to. Yeah, if you're a suicide nuke bomber.
Yeah.
So nearly 2,000 dead.
Would that knock out House of Parliament's flattened? Or would it just
I'm trying to work it. Firewall radius 30 meters.
Oh, right.
Set it to airburst 5 meters, if you can.
Don't know that you can set the advanced options. Hang on.
Because if you could, essentially, they'd try to put it up in a building, just to have the greatest effect.
First night, yeah.
That's it.
Right, Dad.
Good night.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
Night, Rosie.
Oh, what? You don't want us to hear, Alan?
I'm unmuted. I've unmuted the microphone.
Are you talking to retards again?
Hey guys, come on, lay off the future grandfather.
What's he put in the side chat?
I swear, one day the police are going to turn up at our house and arrest you for the shit you look at.
Okay. So, for those who haven't already seen it in the chat yet, gotta love frickin' Geostrebber. Question: what is the worst thing to say at the French border to a police officer? When the police officer asks, occupation? No, just visiting.
You want to? Well, if we do it for 100 feet,
Ooh, we can get a crater.
yeah, but that's for. All right, yeah, let's get the crater, but it is going to be.
Say that you put it at 15 feet, which is the top of some building.
Well, that would be like top of the first story.
Wait, how high are the...
30 feet, and then put it. Put it there, and assume that we got it onto. There's some shops here, so we could have. Yeah, we can.
Well, it's Big Ben right there.
Yeah, but I know that I know that access to these access to these buildings is quite possible.
Wait, don't you have any essentially tower structures for bridges?
Not on Westminster Bridge.
No.
Yeah, that's a low profile bridge.
Because that would otherwise be quite a good target for it.
So, should we see what happens if we put it there?
Yeah.
Oh, ugly German Truth has a good response. So he asked, who are we targeting today? I told him, British Parliament. Bloody why? They are perfectly capable of destroying themselves. We're just trying to give them a little nudge and finish it off.
That's quite bad, isn't it, that?
Yes, it is. And you'd have essentially cut off all the paths to be able to come there and help too.
Yeah.
A crater depth of 0.
Yeah. So what's the green circle signify? Is that radiation fallout or?
Scroll down.
No, that's blast. That's the blast wave.
Yeah.
That's the 500 rem radiation range.
Yep. That's pretty much guaranteed death from radiation poisoning.
The orangey colour is thermal radiation, 3rd-degree burns.
Yeah. Would you be vaporising that orange bit?
No, you'd get 3rd-degree burns.
All right.
Yeah. And then die of radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
From Kristen Frost. I wonder how many FBI people are now listening. All of them. I'm used to it.
Yeah. So shall we see what happens when you do it to some other people's places?
So what size tonnage would you need to wipe out the whole of London? Is there a big enough bomb?
Even the Tsar bomber wouldn't be big enough.
Oh, so you need to drop several then.
The Tsar Bomba would be the closest.
Yeah.
But still not get...
Just the biggest.
It wouldn't crater the entirety, yeah.
What size crater does that leave, that Tsar bomb?
Oh, big.
100
about a mile?
100 megaton
Yeah.
yield. No, Fino, the FCA, the Ferengi Commerce Association, you never mess with them.
Inside crater radius 900 meters, crater depth 430 meters, and that's for an airburst at 50 feet.
Ooh, yeah. So,
sorry, at 30 feet.
Where my
literally just above the ground.
Where my maternal grandmother used to live would be well within the thermal range there.
Yeah, I mean that is a huge area for thermal radiation. Thermal radiation radius 30-degree burns at 73.7 kilometers. That's 17,080 kilometers squared.
Whoa. I suppose that'd be one of the targets anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we don't even. Yeah. I'm reaching into
Hey, hey, Jared.
What can we do for you, Pig?
So Google Meets now accepts phone calls from around the world.
Yes, I noticed.
Can I call China?
No.
No.
Damn it.
Can I call China?
Keep in mind, it said accepts, not makes.
It might also make. I don't know yet. Can I test it by
No.
calling China? Damn it.
Did it charge you then?
That's exactly why I'm saying no.
It put it on Trump House anyway, automatically.
What? Where would be the safe?
Gio, not that grandmother. Gio, not that grandmother.
Where would be the safe if there was an event of a nuclear war? China, Russia, States, all the big countries. Where would be the safest place in the world?
Antarctica.
That would be. Yeah.
The Vatican.
Or
No.
The Vatican would get hit, I reckon.
historically, they've been pretty good at keeping a neutral standpoint with Hitler.
I'd say it isn't so much about neutrality as in they deserve it so much. They would by fear not get hit.
Do you not think so?
Basically, your safest location from that sort of attack is as far from civilization as you can get.
So, Texas.
No, because Texas, unfortunately, has the largest concentration of military bases in the U.S.
Yeah, so that's why my
San
initial thought was
the outer ring of San Antonio is nothing but military bases.
Yeah, my initial recommendation, actually legit recommendation, Canada.
I was just going to say, would Canada be North Canada?
Interior of Alaska.
China doesn't like Canada, though.
No.
Canada, arrests people. That's Chinese.
Yeah, and again, you want to get away from civilization. How much of Canada is sparsely populated? Now,
the interior, you have the interior of Alaska, which is even less sparsely populated than anywhere in Canada.
Yeah, but I want to worry less about bears that can maul me in my sleep.
Yeah.
So what do you think Canada's got? They got grizzlies too.
Less of a population of it, though.
Well, yeah, but then you got the polar bear. You got the polar bears in the far north Arctic region.
Yeah, which is why I said just go into Canada, not one of the major cities.
You don't have to go to a major city to run into bears.
Yeah, but how are you going to get food?
What about South America, though? It worked for Nazis.
Here's the thing. South America would get too ambitious after the first few rounds and think, hey, they've knocked each other out. Now we can take over. And then they start fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have no one to sell the drugs to.
So, Jared, what about that one? That's the that's the terrorist weapon inside the
Capitol. Yeah, properly timed. I can't say whether or not I agree with it for reasons.
But if you would want to do that, you'd essentially want to do it from the outside, though, because it's way too hard to actually get inside with it.
Ooh, that is a good suggestion, Gio. Bouvet Island. We'll post this in the internal chat. So, no! Bastard.
Things going well?
It hit the inspect option instead of paste. And there we go. Internal and external chat has the link to the location that he mentioned, and yeah, I could see that
Over
being,
there, yeah.
yeah, I could see that being a viable option. It's getting there that would be the tricky part.
I mean, you could do it the, climate sensitive way and just take a carbon fiber boat as some helpers.
A trireme carbon fiber boat?
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's just hope it doesn't get run over by the Japanese whalers.
Yeah. What about
Right.
Midway? Someone said in the
Midway is still a military installation. It would still be a target.
Oh, right.
So who else's capital do we want to blow up?
Brussels.
Sweet.
No, wait, no. Let's go to Shanghai.
Well, I was kind of hoping Brussels, and then we wouldn't have to worry about Brexit.
Oh yeah, let's blow up the EU Parliament.
That's actually a good idea, just, on its own too.
There you go, Boris. You ain't got to worry about it now.
The numbers are going to be fucking crazy in that case.
Does anybody know where the actual EU Parliament is in Brussels?
Well, just hit them with 100
European
megaton.
quarter.
Just hit them with 100 megaton. That'll do it.
When in doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no, I actually wanted to see what they. There we go, European Parliament. So if we can get it in the EU Parliament.
Yeah.
I mean, with the kind of people they let in, I wouldn't be too sure what to do.
There you go. It wouldn't actually. It was, it's only going to blow off a little bit of. It's not even going to take out. It's only going to take out the mostly the European Parliament stuff. So
Yeah, we don't want to hurt the people that live there because they're nice people.
Let's do some of Saudi Arabia.
Let's go Shanghai first.
Yeah.
We just see the casualty numbers.
What for the Tsar bomber in Shanghai?
Oh yeah. And then we'll call it at that one because I got stuff to go do.
You always have stuff to do.
Yeah, it's called having a life, pig, and stuff to take care of.
What now?
Oh, hey, Jared, I got a question. I got a question for you off air.
He wants to touch your butthole for your birthday.
You know what, Gio? We might do Tokyo after.
Why Tokyo? What did Tokyo do to anyone?
High population. That's why.
Okay.
Afterwards, you can call it a Tokyo Rift.
Look, leave Christopher alone. I actually like his character over in NCIS New Orleans.
You better type in Shanghai at the top. Hello.
No, I just dragged it to Shanghai.
Oh, right.
It's thinking.
It might take a while to it might take a while to think about this.
I think this might have been one of those ones that it never really calculated because it was just too high.
Welcome to Lake Shanghai.
That'd be a mess.
A crater 430 meters deep.
I'd love to see what happens to all those outlying islands from Shanghai once that blast wave hits the water.
Well, think about it this way: is we're getting a 430 meter deep crater from an airburst.
Whoa.
400. This This is but this is an airburst at 30 feet above the ground, so it's essentially a ground burst.
Oh, okay, makes a little more sense then.
But the
Yeah,
inside
this is
diameter
a-
is almost 2 kilometers.
Someone poke it with a pencil and tell it to do math. We need the numbers.
Like my wife, don't mention anything about buckwheat because my wife is still recovering from last night.
Wait, did she watch James last night?
No, we watched the Sci Strike rewind.
Ah.
Particularly May 31st.
Is that the one that you almost got alcohol
Yes.
poisoning from?
Yes. You got to watch that in splendid glory.
Listen, we still love you, you wished. We still love you.
I don't think
Everyone
it's going to
was
calculate
really
it. I think we broke it.
Yes, we did.
Let's
Not
go a
as
little
badly as
bit
we
to the
broke it.
water so it has less to calculate.
How about we?
Let's do about half of Shanghai.
How about we fire a Titan 2 at it?
Oh, dear Lord.
Bloody hell.
I mean, that's a little more realistic, firing a Titan 2 at it.
What if you just
Can you do a
fire 2?
Now let's go the next one up.
You mean see where it breaks?
Exactly.
hold on.
I'm liking this plan.
Let's check out the first originals. The Little Man and Fat Boy.
No, those were honestly low. So, well, there's 15. 15 megatons. A little less. Okay. Interesting.
Have the airwave. Have the air go the other way.
That's not going to affect the calculation, Pig.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just changed it to back to airburst at 30 feet.
Okay.
So that we're like for like.
Okay.
That's 15 megatons. That's the largest US bomb ever tested. Russell Bravo.
I just
Rush.
solved that population problem.
Yeah. Did Russia test a 50 megaton one?
Yeah, that's the Tsar bomb as tested.
Yeah.
At 50 megatons. I think that might break it.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Only 11 million. Okay. Now let's try it again. Try full power again. Let's see what we get.
The answer's 3.
Oh God! Don't start that again.
Oh, it did this time.
17. Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Let's go to Tokyo. Because
Let's see
why
if we can
not?
really break the calculator, huh?
Oh, damn. I just thought we won't get any computer parts now.
No,
Yeah, really.
No, all those are made in Korea and other parts of China, anyways.
Yeah, but their corporation heads are in freaking Tokyo.
Yes and no.
Right, that looks to be about central Tokyo, doesn't it?
Close enough.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. That's in the
That-
middle of where all the roads go.
Oh, by the way, that's the Imperial Palace.
We definitely want
You can't
to
hit
fuck the Emperor. We definitely want to fuck the Emperor, don't we?
Yeah. You can't take out Suzuki factory, though.
I mean, they can build a wall beforehand.
Yeah.
We're near Suzuki, are we?
Well,
I wonder what would
Suzuka.
happen. I wonder
Jesus,
what would happen if
fucking
we dropped on the Imperial Palace in Beijing. I wonder what would happen there.
A little less.
Okay,
So
Kawasaki.
Hey, Jared, I got a question.
yes, interrupting pig.
Yay. How many times can we say fuck China until you get a notification saying that we're not allowed on
No.
China?
None.
No.
None? Okay.
But
Fanboy.
let's see here. You do that. You just took out. Oh God, what air bases? NAF at Sugi. You just took out Camp Zama. You took out Sifei Yokosuka. You took out. Oh God, what's the other air base that's up in that area? Kadena is down in Okinawa. Yokota. You took out Yokota Air Base.
Oh, fun gear stabber.
Yeah, he's funny, isn't he?
And you know, he was given a link to join in.
That's funny.
Sorry.
Well, ugly German troops. I'm just gonna say it like this. Have you heard of Siege from Warhammer?
Oh God, don't.
It's gonna be like that afterwards.
We're not going to get a knock on the door tomorrow, are we?
You might.
I think that might be the correct target. But I can't remember. I'd have to go and actually look for the correct target info. Donate.
I think with 100 megaton, it don't matter with a few. Bloody
Oh,
hell.
that's a bit disappointing, but there you go.
But
Look at the area.
but that segment of the country is much less populated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, oh, little boy. There we go.
Boom. Yep, that's about accurate.
Martin Moose, about is 0.15 kilotons per bomb.
That is a fair reminder.
Oh my God, Jared.
What?
It is free to call anywhere in the world with Google Meets.
Good.
I'm going to cause an international incident.
No, you're not.
Damn it.
I want cause an international show. Damn it.
Your name does not end in rumpf.
No, but he wants it to be.
I've been there.
So, how many times could I call the fucking Chinese government until I get in trouble?
One.
Or could I get in trouble for doing that?
You do it once,
You would
you're
have
in trouble.
FBI. Yeah, you'd have FBI and probably Homeland knocking on your door.
And that's what Fat Man would do.
I mean,
That was a bit bigger, wasn't it? 20 KT.
Just a little bit bigger.
can they stop me from doing it?
I can.
I mean, if I were to pull out my
disappointing.
phone now and made an international call, could they stop me? No.
I could.
You couldn't. From my own phone?
What account are you using?
My phone number.
Oh, if you're using your phone number, then that's on you.
Yeah. I mean, there's not that much they can do to stop me.
And then Piggy got kidnapped and beaten by the NBA.
Yeah.
Wow, that was... Okay, for
What
some
about Pakistan?
reason,
Oh, he's going to
Google...
North Korea now. Just to hop over the ocean.
All right.
Oh,
For
there
some
might
reason...
be some meat issues. Yeah.
Yeah, it decided to drop me out for some reason.
The AC didn't battle China.
They already heard you on the internet. And they've just blocked you.
Fuck you.
You know, you say that, Pig, and I'm seeing a suspend option right here.
But does anybody know enough about Pyongyang to know where we want to put this?
No, I don't.
In the water.
Actually, I think
To the
it's
left
kind
of
of
the water.
here, isn't it, on that island. Runga Island, is it?
Probably in the green bits.
Well, look, if you're going to drop it on Pyongyang, you might as well just drop it in the DMZ. Let's see if we can get Furball.
You know, I think we should all get together some funds and make him buy a grill to cook next to the DMZ for the sole purpose of letting them smell some grilling food.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't see that happening.
There are people who have done it.
Let's drop him a W53, shall we? That's actually quite impressive, isn't it?
I got a lot of clicking going on in my headphones.
Anyway,
Sounds like Jared correcting Pig.
No, responding in chat to someone.
Oh. Well, by the way that you were typing, it sounded like you were disciplining Pig through Discord.
No.
There needs to be an option, though, for what would happen if you
Unless we
placed
really, really,
a
really
manhole
want-
cover on the nuke.
I thought better of trying to nuke Furball.
Yeah. We like him more than most. Especially Pig.
Yeah, and come on, we don't want to nuke that poor little pooch, do we?
Oh, no.
I like the dog. Let's keep the dog.
But we can wait until he's moved away.
Which will be in a matter of a few weeks, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because let's see, 3 weeks ago he had 78 days, so he's down within 60, within 2 months.
So I got a question for you guys. Do you
I'm
think
not radio
that they're
check.
Do you think that they're keeping the data of where people have chosen to nuke to do like a hot zone and where to put nukes? That'd be cool to do.
Probably.
Like I would love to see the actual places people have chosen to nuke.
Yeah, there'd be just this one massive red ring in the middle of China.
You'd have to actually sort it by country in that case too. Because, I mean, if it's someone for China, it's going to be in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But then there's people who's curious, like let's nuke, New York or LA, right?
You know, programs like that actually came from a planning and prevention strategy workup. So there was actually a reason that it started out from being able to make these predictions.
Where is the Terminator 2
Well, I would just
taking
like to
place?
see. I would just like to see the hotspots of where people have actually chosen to nuke.
Yeah,
Why?
that'd be quite
It would probably be every major city around the world, though, Pig. I mean,
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? You take all that data, throw it into a 3D model, and then you could have huge craters where places would have been, where it was like a hot zone for it, and you could have like chunks of the earth taken out.
I'm pretty sure you get a hold of a platform like a blanket template from Unreal Engine, and you can make it yourself.
Yeah, but I need the data from where people have selected to nuke.
You don't select a nuke. The nuke selects you.
Hmm.
All right, been going for a couple hours, so I need to go and actually do something else a little more productive. In the meantime, see that join button down below, people? Yeah, it's new. It's my new button. Go ahead and touch the
I
button.
want to rub that button for you.
You want everyone to press your buttons.
Well, see, it's always interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Pig, what were you going to say you were going to do?
I want to rub that button.
No, he's not. And with that, we have... Hey, you know, that just made it easier for me. Thanks, Pig. I think he's forgetting that I am transmitting from OBS by itself. So yeah, we have the join button down there. We have memberships active on the channel. And, hey, a super chat from Dora. Not going to give Google any money, but you just did. Anyways. Yeah, so we have the tiers. We have a whole bunch of perks, which I need to go get a hold of Intellectual Iconoclasm and actually make sure he gets set up with everything for his perks. And yes, this image right here of the gray Ducati Monster with one of my hats on it, that one was my ride, which I might go for a ride here in a little bit. I don't know. Have to check the weather. It's supposed to rain. I'll think about it. But until then, be safe, everyone. Enjoy, and I will see you on the next stream. Later.